So in 2006, a day, he was working as a software developer for a company called Recursive Function, and he was getting to the point where recoding web forms for clients' websites it's tedious if you're a developer. It's fairly easy, but it takes a lot of time, and you get to the point where you're like, I have to continue doing this time and time again. He decided he wanted to make it a little bit easier on himself, and he actually built the original FormStack product. So FormStack is an online form builder. A lot of times that doesn't mean a lot to people, and I have to kind of go through and explain what that is. It typically makes most sense when you think about the examples of the types of online forms that you might use on a daily basis. So anytime you fill out on a website a survey, an order form, a contact form, and leave your contact information, we essentially have a product that enables you to easily be able to build those types of forms on your own and use them. So we don't provide that service aspect. We don't actually build the forms for our customers. They interact with our product and are able to easily do that themselves. And it doesn't require you to have any programming knowledge or be a developer yourself. It's just a very easy to use drag and drop form builder that allows you to do that. So I talked a little bit about I mentioned the onboarding sales role. So as a software as a service company, we've got our customers come to us. It's a monthly subscription model. They pay for as much as they use. If they got a month where they really don't need the forms, they can kind of downgrade their service and come back to us at any point in time. All of our customer acquisition comes from inbound marketing. So inbound marketing would be any technique that you use to drive visitors in to your website. So like I said, we don't have any outbound salespeople. We develop a lot of content for search engine optimization purposes. We do a lot of paid advertising through Google pay-per-click. So anytime you do a Google search for something, you see the search results down the middle of the page. You'll see the 3 in the top and then someone along the side, so we pay for placement there. Do other banner advertising, but essentially all of our marketing efforts are to reach as many people as we can, drive them to our site, get them to sign up, educate them along the way about why they need to continue using us, upgrade them, and so forth. So we started in 2006, like I mentioned, startup company, very small, very lean, grew organically over the last 6 years. I came on about 2 years ago. I think I was employee number 8, and we're hiring right now for, I think, number 22. So we've, within the last year and a half, over doubled in size, are really starting to grow a lot, and are getting to the point where we had to operate as that lean startup where everybody kind of did everything. Even when I came on board, I had 2 or 3 different roles, and just as of late have kind of developed into a more specific role, and we're building out teams, hiring people that are more experts in exactly what they do versus just generalists that kind of take care of everything. But so just how we operate as a company, so I talked a little bit about the inbound marketing strategy. In terms of our product, so we have a development team that makes continual updates to the product. We focus very much on small businesses, and we don't work with enterprise level clients that require a lot of service and hand-holding and time with them, because we really pour that time and energy into making updates to the product that are kind of good for everybody across our whole customer base. We work kind of on 2-week sprints, we call them. So every 2 weeks we're launching some kind of update, some kind of new feature. A couple weeks ago we actually launched 3 new products. So it's just a constant, fast pace, taking customer feedback in, paying attention to where we should be within the industry and what other people in our space are doing, and just iterating on our product all the time. So there's a lot of education that comes with making sure our customers are aware of everything that they can use and take part of with FormStack. So not to go into that too much, but for me, the importance of partnerships is huge. So we actually, that's a great way for us to expand our reach. Like I mentioned, we've got 30 other software companies that we integrate with, so that they actually tie into our product. Our customers can use those integrations without paying anything extra. So if they're already a customer, let's say, for example, they have a PayPal account. So we have an integration with PayPal that allows you to actually process payments through a web form created with FormStack. All you have to do is have an account with PayPal and have an account with us, and it allows you to make use of that connection. So those partnerships have been huge for us. A couple years ago, we kind of launched the first round of those integrations, and it's been a huge value add for our customers, kind of to be able to have that integrated solution, which I'll talk more about later. But just kind of our principles as a company culture is super important to us. We're actually going through a hiring process right now, and it is more important that someone is a good culture fit versus kind of a skills and experience. We take it very seriously. To be able to move as quickly as we move and to do the things that we're doing, it's very important that we have somebody on board who wants to be a part of that and kind of shares those values. So we kind of have we call it our SAFE principles. So everything that we do, simple, agile, fun, and elegant, applies to everything, whether it's an interaction with the customer, development to the product. That's kind of what we keep in our minds at all times. So to talk a little bit more just about data collection in general, I think a lot of people don't, especially small business owners, it's kind of a matter of not knowing what you don't know, and there's things that you just don't think about because you're trying to pour all your time and energy into running your business. You don't have a lot of resources, you maybe don't have a marketing department, you don't have someone technical on staff, and a lot of times people don't know what options there are out there for them. So you think about everyone needs data to run their business, whether it's customer contact information so that you can stay in touch with your customers, whether you're selling something online, if you're a nonprofit, you're taking donations, you're running an event. Everybody, no matter what you do, has some kind of data that they need to collect. And it's kind of amazing the amount of people who still process all of that with paper. And it's fine depending upon what your business model is, because there's some things that maybe don't translate well to online. But when you think about the amount of time that you're spending processing paper, probably doing a lot of manual data entry from information that you're collecting through paper, you've probably got data spread out in different places. When you think about the amount of time, the resources, the money that all dials down to, you start to think about, well, how could I streamline this a little bit to make my life easier so I'm not spending so much time managing this data. So the nice thing about a tool like ours, and there are other companies, not just to talk so much about FormStack, it's just a tool like this in general. There are a lot of other companies that do what we do as well. A company called Wufoo. There's a company called Forum Assembly that's actually located here in Indiana as well. FormSite, JotForm. So there are a lot of other people doing this, but kind of our goal is, how do we reach out to small businesses and let them know the benefits of using what we call integrated business solutions? So how do you collect this data, do something with it on the back end? So it's one thing to collect it, it's another thing, the real power comes from what you do with the data after you get it. Just collecting it isn't going to be enough. So when we look at, if you look at small businesses, there was a statistic that came out that said 19% of small businesses are using cloud-based services. So they're using services like ours that are hosted in the web, you can access from anywhere, not hosted physically on a server anywhere. And how do we get, so one of our missions in a kind of a bigger group that we're a part of with companies like us, how do we move that forward and get to a point where we've got 50% and 75% and really just kind of increase that usage? So to talk, Blake wanted me to talk a little bit about some of the systems that you use with a product like FormStack.